If you do exactly what I share with you in this video, you can easily divide the time that you spend working by 3 and you can triple or even 10x your income. How do I know that? I know it because I've done it and because I've believed in the hustle culture for way too long. And that's why in today's video I reveal the biggest lie we have been told by our parents, teachers and society about getting rich, the one mindset shift that allowed me to effortlessly go from making less than $1,000 a month to making way more than $20,000 a month. And the 5-step formula I follow every day to make sure that my energy leads to a never-ending flow of money for me. And keep in mind that each of the individual 5 steps of this manifestation formula is absolutely essential if you want your manifestation to show up in your physical reality. So if you only miss out on one, your manifestation might not materialize. And if you continue to believe this lie, you will never manifest your dreams, because throughout my 20s I was constantly overworking myself. I was listening to all these hustle entrepreneurs and they were screaming in my ear, you have to work more and sleep less. And that's exactly what I did. I worked more and I slept less. I worked 12 hours a day, sometimes even 14 hours a day. And I was exhausted. I mean, I was lying on the couch at 5 p.m. being I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna be successful, while the universe was just looking down on me and saying this: what are you doing? You are destroying yourself. When will he finally realize that it's not about hustling at all? Today, on the other hand, I'm working about 4 to 5 hours a day. I'm enjoying my life while taking relaxing walks. I go to the beach, to the pool, and even some of my friends in Germany are saying, you're so lazy, you're just working 4 to 5 hours a day. Well, what they don't know, at least some of them, is that in a very short period of time, I was able to go from making less than $1,000 a month while I was hustling and destroying myself and lying on the couch like, please shoot me. I then went on to 20x my income while working less and less and less by manifesting. And it took me years of watching hustle gurus and motivational speakers on YouTube who were screaming in the camera, you can sleep when you're dead, work 20 hours a day. And I was thinking to myself, okay, this is Sparta, I can do it. And my body just couldn't take it anymore. And at some point, I then unconsciously manifested myself on the operating table in a hospital. And that's something that I don't want you to experience, because as Joe Dispenza always says it, why wait until crisis hits you? Why not change before? And the truth is that hard work is not in any shape or form related to how much money you're manifesting. I mean, what I'm gonna say right now is very controversial, and I don't want you to understand this the wrong way, but I want to give you this wake-up call. Because if hard work would make rich, then every gardener, every construction worker, everyone who works a very hard, manual, demanding labor would be a millionaire. But the truth is that creation, conscious creation in the imaginal act, by going into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is what makes you wealthy. And of course, if you believe that only hard work can lead to wealth, then, well, you believe it, you will receive it. But at what price will you then become wealthy? Because if you believe that hard work and suffering and sacrifice will make you wealthy, then you can lie in the hospital and say, I am rich, while you have 2 more days to enjoy your life. But is that really worth it? I mean, just imagine if you would not believe that hard work and sacrifice would be necessary in order to manifest money or in order to make money, but instead you would believe that it is so easy for you to draw money-generating ideas and to draw direct downloads and synchronicities to you that make you wealthier than you can possibly imagine. And what if you would believe that by just working 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hours a day, how many you want, or by not working at all, you can manifest any amount of money you want? What you believe is what you receive. And Neville Goddard said it in the following words: "Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world." So if you want to continue to believe that hard work and sacrifice is necessary, then please go ahead, but then don't complain to me that you have to work hard and sacrifice in order to get money. It is your choice. But the truth is that hard work is not necessary. The only thing that's necessary is that you build the bridge of incidents, or let's better say that you manifest, and therefore the universe can build the bridge of incidents that you can then simply walk over directly to your manifestation. And these can be signs, it can be synchronicities, it can be certain meetings, it can be direct downloads, ideas, just anything that the universe provides you with. But hard work is not necessary. And Neville Goddard says it in the following words in The Power of Awareness: "In spite of your appearance of freedom of action, you obey, as everything else does, the law of assumption. An assumption builds a bridge of incidents that lead inevitably to the fulfillment of itself." So assume that money can flow to you easily. Assume that you don't have to work hard in order to make a lot of money. Assume that it's so easy for you to draw money to you. Assume that money loves you because you love money. And I know for a fact that this is something that so many people are struggling with, because many of the amazing people who have recorded video testimonials after completing my 8-week Abundance Reality Shift coaching program initially believed that they had to work so hard and sacrifice so much in order to make money. And nowadays they are attracting money in the easiest ways you can imagine, and some of them even share their experiences in the video testimonials on the presentation page for my coaching program. And in the same way, you can change your belief system and therefore your reality. And then hustling will no longer be necessary. And there is one realization about money that I remind myself of every day, because I promised myself, and I really promised myself, to never go back to the old, stressed and overworked self. And that's the following sentence that my spiritual mentor said to me when I was at the beginning of my spiritual awakening. And the sentence is: "Money is energy." And now you might be saying, yeah, but I thought money is just numbers on a screen, or it's just cash. But the truth is that money is energy. And when you change your energetic field, when you change your energy into the energy of abundance, of wealth, of riches, then this energetic shift will directly have an impact on your bank account balance. And then the universe is really happy. And there are different ways how you can attract money by shifting your energy and by bringing your energy in alignment with abundance. And that's what I'm about to share with you in the following 5 steps. I just want you to embrace this idea that money is created through energy. It is transferred through energy. It is directed through energy. It is attracted through energy, and it's also repulsed by a certain energy. And hustling and working hard has zero, and I really mean zero, and that's the zero here, has zero impact on your ability to attract money energetically. Instead, you have to do this. For the most part of my life, I was not even aware that there is such a thing as energy, and I was the most unspiritual person you can imagine, because back then I was in a state of consciousness before my spiritual awakening, where I thought that all spiritual people are weird and the universe was just screaming at me, "Wake up, it's time to wake up." Before my spiritual awakening in the year 2020, if you would have met me back then and you would have said to me, "You know, the law of assumption is real and you can actually create your reality," I would have just looked at you and said, "Yeah, right, Now that I know that manifesting abundance is all about energy, I want to dive directly into the first step that you have to take in order to attract money energetically. And that's to bring your body in alignment with the energy of money. And here's what Neville Goddard says in Feeling is the Secret. Sensation precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. So the sensations that you experience in your body are the direct result of your energetic alignment. And now the question is, how do we align your body energetically to the frequency of abundance? And here are some practical techniques that I want to share with you how you can achieve exactly that. Technique number 1, you place your awareness on your chakras and you bless them, you feel grateful for them, because remember what Joe Dispenza always says, gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. And while you're focusing your awareness on your chakras, while you're blessing these chakras, blessing these energy centers, you then feel yourself into a state of abundance, into a state of wealth, while you're tuning into these chakras, so that these chakras and therefore these little mini brains in your body receive the message that you are truly abundant. Technique number 2, you create your own personal power pose that you step in throughout the day, multiple times a day, that for you represents abundance. For me, for example, it was always this pose of pure freedom, where I imagined myself having the abundance to live wherever I want, and I was spreading my arms out and I was moving my head back, and it just made me feel confident, powerful, empowered. For you it could be something different. For you it could be the Superman pose, where you go like da, 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 and then you feel yourself into this state of abundance. And I know it sounds a bit weird, but it is incredibly effective, because you are anchoring the emotions that you associate with abundance to this movement. And the more often you do that, and the more often you then go into this movement, the more you signal to the world, to the universe, to yourself, that you are already abundant. Because the moment you go into your power pose will be the moment when you then feel the feelings associated to your abundant dream life, and that's how you can draw it to you. Technique number 3, you take time during your busy day to immerse yourself into affirmations that are related to abundance. For example, a very specific one, I make X amount of dollars each month. And you don't just say it, but you also feel it. And you don't just feel it, but you also express it energetically with your body. I do that all the time. When I repeat my affirmations, I feel them and I move my body a little bit. I'm like, I'm so abundant. I'm so wealthy. I'm making X amount of dollars each month. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Or, as I love to say from this one song of Post Malone and DJ Khaled, I did it, I did it, I did it. So that's something that you can also do. And by bringing your body into energetic alignment with abundance, you are signaling to the universe over and over again that you are already abundant. And that's how money can flow to you easily through the bridge of incidents without hustling. So comment down below, I'm ready to let abundance flow to me. I'm ready to let abundance flow to me. And if you don't do what I'm about to share with you now, then you can affirm all day long, run around in your house going, I'm abundant, I'm so abundant. And yet nothing will change. And I know that from my own experience, because there was a time when my emotions made me sick. They led me directly on the operating table in the hospital, and I then had severe nerve damage. And once I then completely shifted my emotional state, I healed my body through the power of manifesting. And I then realized, okay, if I can change something in my body through manifesting, through emotions, how powerful would it be to feel myself into new emotions in regards to abundance, wealth, and success? But this was only possible for me because at some point I let go of this. Universe, I'm such a victim. The world is against me. Why can't I be successful? And this leads me to step number 2 of this 5-step framework that allows you to energetically draw money to you without hustling. And it's all about the following realization. Every emotion has an energetic footprint, and Neville Goddard said this: your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the cause of all disease. So your emotions either create wholeness or they create sickness. They create abundance or poverty. And by you shifting your emotional state, you are shifting your reality. Because if you feel lack, scarcity and fear all day long, then you will be so broke that you can't even afford your second T-Rex hand. But if you feel the emotions of abundance, freedom, security, then you will make so much money that you can't only afford a second T-Rex hand, but you also will be able to travel the world and to live your life in complete freedom. So choose your emotions wisely and remember that you as a creator have the power to feel any emotion that you want to feel. It just requires a little bit of practice, and no matter if you decide to work with me in an individual session or you're ready to completely transform your life in my 8-week coaching program, we will practice together. And now that we talked about the energetic power of emotions, we have to talk about visual images. And when I went into the Imaginal Act for the first time, I had no idea that I would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And yes, this is a bird, and maybe this joke is only funny for non-native speakers, but anyway, I tried my best to draw a bird, and I think this one got somehow a little bit prettier. Anyway, and don't worry, no animals were harmed with a stone, but this leads me directly to step number 3 of the 5-step framework. And that's that whenever you see yourself in a new reality, your energetic field changes. And Neville Goddard once said, "To attempt to change circumstances before I change my own imaginal activity is to struggle against the very nature of my own being, for my own imaginal activity is animating my world." And of course, we don't want to struggle against the very nature of our being in the same way as we no longer want to struggle and hustle and sacrifice. And that's why I go into the Imaginal Act every day. That's why I take my time to create pictures of my abundant future every day, of the life I want to live, of the experiences I want to make, of the amazing business class flights and first class flights that I want to take. And I see myself in this reality, or let's say these different potentials of an abundant reality every single day. And by doing that, every time I go into the Imaginal Act, I'm changing my energetic field and I'm sending a new signal into the universe. And the universe then receives this signal and sends the abundance my way. But what if I would focus on the wrong thing? Then of course I would make it impossible for myself to manifest abundance, and this leads me directly to step number 4. Because at the beginning of my spiritual journey, I was the most unfocused person in the world. I was not able to sit and to meditate for more than 5 minutes. My mind was going in all kinds of different directions, and the universe was slowly but steadily losing its patience with me. Why can't you just focus? Why can't you just sit for 5 minutes? What the beep is wrong with you? And after attending 3 Dr. Joe Dispenza advanced retreats and studying Neville Goddard's work for thousands of hours, I was finally able to master step number 4. And that's where focus goes, energy flows. And in The Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard says, "The great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention, firmly and repeatedly focused on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, until it fills the mind and crowds all other ideas out of consciousness." And in this quote, Neville Goddard focuses on the importance of repeatedly focusing on your desire. And that's also where I believe a lot of people misinterpret what Neville Goddard means with letting go. A lot of people believe that Neville means, okay, you just have to go into the Imaginal Act once and then never do it again. But I believe that Neville meant the letting go process of the obsession with the how and when it will flow to you. Because the bridge of incidence will be built for you, but the universe knows exactly how and when it is right for you. Because in multiple of Neville Goddard's quotes, he mentions the importance of repeatedly focusing on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And this intense focus and this repeated focus is not just important when it comes to the imaginal act, but of course also in which direction you focus your emotions and also in which direction you focus your attention. Because if you watch reality TV all day long with drama and betrayal, and then you watch movies with murder and betrayal, then you focus all your attention and therefore also your energy on content and on ideas that are not in alignment with abundance, because they are keeping you separate from the feeling of I'm in love with life. And remember, the feeling of I'm in love with life creates the life you love with the abundance that you love, and that makes you love your life more. But imagine if you would focus on content and on people and on experiences that emphasize the abundance in your life. That's when you send out a completely energetic footprint. That's when you are then focusing on watching business class reviews, on watching documentaries about wealthy people, going to networking events with wealthy, successful people. And that changes your energy, it changes the signal that you send out into the field. And in week number 3 of my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program, we're going to create your new abundant self-concept. And once you then truly embody this new self-concept and you become the abundant self, then you want to step into new abundant environments, and you will no longer focus on anything that keeps you separate from the wealth that you want to create. And if you're ready to find out more about my 8-week Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program, you can click on the first link in the description or go to affirmation2manifestation.com/abundance. Now, what if I told you that there are more than 100 opportunities throughout the day to lose the energetic alignment with your abundant future? In fact, for me, it was such an uphill battle. I constantly lost focus. I constantly went back into the old self, and I constantly focused on this goal of me being truly abundant, and I made a step back and then 2 steps forward again, then a step back again, and I then over time got better and better at it because I dedicated myself to step number 5 of this framework. Remind yourself multiple times throughout the day to reconnect with the energy of abundance. And in the beginning of my journey, I was setting myself an alarm clock every hour, and some days even every half an hour, to remind myself to go back into energetic alignment, to reach the frequency of abundance in the exact ways that I shared with you in today's video. And that's also why Neville Goddard said the following words in Your Faith is Your Fortune. Only as one is willing to give up his present limitations and identity can he become that which he desires to be. So how committed are you to finally giving up your present limitations? How willing are you to every day remind yourself multiple times of your abundant self and your abundant dream life? How often are you willing throughout the day to tell yourself that you are greater than you think you are? The choice is yours. And only if you choose abundance are you ready to discover how I would manifest my first $250,000 if I had to start over again. So watch this video next to find out exactly how I would do it.